And so, of course, when you see people in the street, they're not just trashing Israel, river to the sea. They're not just quote-unquote Palestinians. These are would-be terrorists in many cases. That doesn't mean they're going to be violent. Doesn't mean they're not going to be violent. Marxists. Doesn't mean they're going to be violent. Doesn't mean they're not going to be violent. Gramsci, Italian communist, tells us the best way to achieve this in the West, particularly the United States, is to devour its cultural institutions from the top down, slowly but surely, and impose your will on the public. There's not going to be this uprising of the proletariat, the people, because here in the United States, we the people, you, fight for this country. Let's delve a little bit more deeply into this issue of what I call civil rights Marxism. I wrote about it in this book, The Democrat Party Hates America, the longest book I've ever written. I consider it the most important book I've ever written. Maybe I should have given it a different title, but I don't think so. Sometimes you got to say what's actually taking place. We've made Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 available on the internet for free. Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 are available absolutely free. Just go to the Simon & Schuster website or go to any of my social site websites, platforms, and it's there. I encourage you to download them and push them out. Free, so I don't make any money, free to push them out. In Chapter 3, I discuss, among other things, this movement from civil rights as a movement for justice and the equal application of justice. Remember the 1960s and 70s, civil rights marches and protests and so forth. To what now I have coined the phrase civil rights Marxism. What do you mean, Mark? I got to thinking when I was writing the book, what is this so-called civil rights movement today? As far as the Constitution, federal and state law go, we have a very solid justice system now. It was a very ugly period in the United States. There was a lot of protesting and rioting, changing of laws, Supreme Court decisions, and on and on. And our justice system is the most equal, fair, and just justice system on the face of the earth. So what are all these protests about? If you listen to the heads of civil rights groups now, if you listen to the Democrats, particularly in the House of Representatives, if you watch these activists on television, they're not pushing equal justice. They're pushing equity. Bernie Sanders is pushing equity. Joe Biden is institutionalizing equity in our laws and in our departments and in his public pronouncements. People have rightly said, as a result of reading American Marxism, that this oppressor-oppressed model is at play. That's correct. I should know I was the first one to write about it in American Marxism. But it goes beyond that, which I wrote about in The Democrat Party Hates America. They've devoured the civil rights movement now. They have hijacked the civil rights movement. Civil rights now is interpreted in the context of Marxism, not in the context of Americanism. So the equal application of laws to everybody, regardless of who they are, their backgrounds, their faith, their race, their ethnicity, that's a good thing. But now, when we talk about a colorblind society, that's the phrase, that's Martin Luther King's famous phrase in his I Have a Dream speech, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, that famous speech where 250,000 people showed up to watch. Civil rights Marxism rejects a colorblind society. Civil rights Marxism rejects Martin Luther King. You heard the Islamist. He quotes Malcolm X, not Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King was not a Marxist. Martin Luther King did not believe in violence. Malcolm X believed in all that. The Islamists cite Malcolm X. The American Marxists and the Islamists have a lot in common. This is why I talk about a fusion between Marxists and Islamists. And the main thing they have in common is the goal of destroying the United States. The United States embraces Western principles, the principles of the Enlightenment. Much of Islamhood has never gone through the Enlightenment. Some individuals have, some parts of it have, but much of it has not. And so you see this throwback to the 7th, 8th, 9th centuries. And so a little Western democracy in the middle of this, Israel, has to be eliminated. Big United States way over there has to be eliminated. Israel, they seek to eliminate through the front door, military power. The United States, they seek to eliminate from within. The Marxists seek to destroy the United States from within. Now, if God forbid, if they ever were to take power, they'd beat each other's throats for obvious reasons. They'd be trying to slaughter each other every bit as much as Stalin tried to destroy all his opponents, including Trotsky. But I don't want to get to that point, because I hope we never get to that point. But the common enemy is you. We, the people. That's why years now, they've been attacking American history. For years now, they've been attacking America's founders. That's why 1776 is not even sacrosanct. They want to replace it with 1619. That has nothing to do with anything. That's why all this talk about a systemically white-privileged, white-dominant society, to destroy the basis for the United States of America, to destroy the majority citizenry in the United States of America. I'm telling you what these people believe and how they think, because they tell us if we'll actually read their scholarship and follow what they say. Forget about the news media. They're part of the problem. Some of them know it, some of them don't. It doesn't matter. They're a mouthpiece for this Marxist Islamist ideology. And so, of course, when you see people in the street, they're not just trashing Israel, river to the sea. They're open about it. They're not just quote-unquote Palestinians, which is what the media keep reporting. These are would-be terrorists in many cases. That doesn't mean they're going to be violent. Doesn't mean they're not going to be violent. Marxists doesn't mean they're going to be violent. Doesn't mean they're not going to be violent. How do we know? Marx tells us there'll be a period of despotism. Gramsci, Italian communist, tells us the best way to achieve this in the West, particularly the United States, is to devour its cultural institutions from the top down, slowly but surely, and impose your will on the public. There's not going to be this uprising of the proletariat, the people, because here in the United States, we the people, you, fight for this country. The middle class fights for America. The middle class loves America. So you need to impose your will, and you impose it by taking over the culture, by the religious institutions, the entertainment arena, the media, the Democrat Party, all these institutions, and of course the massive Leviathan. State Department's already been devoured and conquered by these elements. But now here we are. We're at the precipice staring into the abyss. It's here now. There's simply no question about it. Joe Biden sits silently while his would-be voters that he pursues are talking about destroying the United States of America. The entire system is corrupt, they say. And forget about Israel, they say. They'll be dealt with. They'll be destroyed. The biggest problem is the United States. Death to the United States, death to Israel. The system is poisonous. Sounds very much like the civil rights Marxists, does it not? Sounds very much like the 1619 Project and the Marxist professors and the Marxist ideology. So civil rights movement now is defined not by equal justice, not by a colorblind society, but by the destruction of the United States of America, its economic system, its constitutional system, its culture, and the society altogether. That's civil rights Marxism that is fused with Islamicism. And that's what you're seeing now. That's why Bernie Sanders turned on Israel as quickly as he did. That's why most of the Democrats have. Chris Van Hollen is an out of the closet now anti-Semite. Schumer, sickening. History will treat him the way he needs to be treated. But it's not just him. It's not just them. Conga line of these people go up on the Sunday shows. Conga line of these people are interviewed on our cable shows, CNN and MSNBC, and a conga line of the hosts and contributors on these networks agree with them. The pages of the New York Times filled with them. AP, Reuters, same damn thing. And now our streets with open borders. You don't have to have allegiance to the United States anymore. You don't have to have allegiance to America at all. Just come across the border, reap the benefits, Get amnesty through the back door and work your way, not all, but too many, towards destroying the United States of America.
Want to see more? Sign up for Levin TV.